Hey, I'm Carissa Wiley from sprinkledwithglitter.com, and we are going to craft, chat, create a couple of cards today together featuring some products from Spellbinders. We're going to have a good time. I'm still sipping on my coffee on this beautiful Monday morning here in California. It's a little chilly. I see so many of you are in snow. I did hear that there's like a big snowstorm, right? Like some cyclone bomb situation or something on the East Coast. I'm not sure how much it affects. I didn't look into that, but a lot of you getting snow. So I hope you're cozy. I hope you're staying warm. Grab yourself a warm cup of something and we're going to spend this snow day together. Then there's some of you who are in the sunshine. I saw St. George and Huntington Beach and some of that out there with the sunshine. So I hope you're enjoying your sunshine if you are in the sunshine. Thanks for joining me here today. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, I am so thankful that you are here. And I hope that when you're here, you find a little joy, you find a little light and a little inspiration. One or all of those things is my goal. And if I have inspired you, if you found some joy or some light in any way, I would love for you to hit that thumbs up button. And I would love for you to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss anything that I'm sharing. Now, as many of you know, I am very busy this week. I have a big week of live streams planned. If you are not following me over on Instagram, that's where you can check out my live stream schedule in my Instagram stories. But I'll be here live today at 10. Tomorrow, I'm on the Pink Fresh Studio YouTube channel. Wednesday, I'm on the Scrapbook and Cards Today YouTube channel. And Thursday, I'll be back here live again on this channel because Friday I am not going to be here. So usually I do a Friday live stream. So I'm getting in a couple on the off days so that you can continue to be inspired. And if you're watching on live, I love it when you guys chat along. I'm watching all of your comments come through. And if you're watching on the replay, I would love for you to leave me a comment in the comments section and just say, hey, let me know what you like. And just let me know you're watching. I love that so much. I have a few events coming up that there are some opportunities still available for you to get in on. Erica says, girl, you're busy. I am busy and I'll be right back at it next week too. It'll be a busy week. 4 days of Carissa Live. Yeah, I know you guys are probably going to get a little tired of me, but in the YouTube description below, not only are there links to a visual supply list and the supplies I'm using today, but there is also links to some upcoming events that are still available for you to sign up for. First of all is Concord and Ninth Summer Camp. This has an early bird special on it still. So if you want to get in for C9 Summer Camp, I'm one of the camp counselors this year. Click that link, go over there and sign up. It's a fabulous kit. You're going to love it. The second event is the Hero Arts Friendship Stamp Along. That is still open. You can still get the virtual only or the virtual part plus the product bundle. You can find all the information at the link below. And then finally, an in-person event. A lot of you asked me about in-person events. Craft Roulette Live 2026 is in Kansas City, Missouri. It's an in-person crafting event for all the crafty people. I have a link below. There are 11 spots left for that, and that's happening in August, but there's a link below that you can check that all out. So anyway, I wanted to let you know, don't forget, yes, someone's mentioning Catherine. Catodic Crafting is mentioning her foam panels using the scrapbook.com adhesive. Check out that video because there is a giveaway on that video and those entries do not close until March 1st. So make sure that you go over there and check that out. But now that I've yapped your ears off, let's get into the crafting, shall we? So today I decided to pull out some products from Spellbinders February 2026 release. If you saw the Craft Roulette episode that I was on here on YouTube a couple of weeks ago, then you probably saw me make this card. Now it's a 5x7 card and I really wanted to use these products again. And I went through oh my gosh, I totally lost my train of thought. But I wanted to go and recreate this, but in a smaller size. So when Craft Roulette happens, they pick some parameters for you where you have to use them. So I had to use a 5x7 card, but I wanted to kind of recreate these in A2 size cards. And so I took, and I wanted to use more of the collection. So there is this measure up set. I'm so bad at product names, you guys. This is just, here we go. Oh, hold on. We have a problem. There we go. This is the Measure Mates Etched Dies by Tina Smith. And I'm using a lot of products from her release for February. So I have gone through and die cut some of the elements to make this a lot quicker. I'm also using this one here, which is the Magic Mixer Etched Dies. I also have the Sugared Expressions stamp set and the embossing folder, which is the Confection Companions 3D embossing folder. And you saw 3 of these used on this card project. But in addition, there is the Essential Arches dies and the Arch Punch and Pierce plate. Oh my goodness, that's so much. But look at this beautiful arch set. It has a bunch of piercings and punchings out of it. It makes a really beautiful background. And this reminded me of a really pretty like tile background that you would see like in the inset of a kitchen. And I thought, let's use these together. I haven't seen anybody use them together yet. And then I'm combining it with the Essential Arches. I love an arch. I love an arch on a card and I just can't get over it. So I'm going to be combining all of these today to create a couple more cards. So I have pulled out some Spellbinders colors and done some die cutting ahead of time. We're going to do some die cutting together as well. But here is what I cut out the other day. So I have the Measure Mates and the Magic Mixer. I have the bowl and the mixer and the batter and all of that from the Magic Mixer. And then I also have the scale, some cookies, and all of the little measuring cups from the Measure Mates. And we're going to create a couple of cards, I believe. I think maybe I'm getting too ambitious, but I'm going to start out with the Arch Punch and Pierce die. And I'm going to show you what this does because it is absolutely stunning. And it is not all one piece when you cut this out. So you can use part or all of it to create a really beautiful background. And we're going to use part of it today in conjunction with those Essential Arch dies and create a background for our mixer. So I'm going to take some white cardstock and I am going to place this onto my cutting plate. Now, because this is a very intricate die, because it's a very intricate die, I'm going to cut into my clear cutting plate rather than my magnetic mat. The magnetic mat is amazing for most die cuts. However, it is not my favorite for things that are super intricate and have a lot of, detail to them. So if you're doing something a little more on the intricate side, a little more detailed, I do recommend if you're using the Anna Griffin Empress machine to go ahead and cut into the clear cutting plate. So this die, if you cut it without this outer arch, will not cut out. It will create a window. So I'm going to use the outer arch with it. I'm going to place the magnetic mat on this and I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. Oh, good. Kaydell Whitlock is signed up for the Hero Arts Friendship Stamp Along and C9 Summer Camp. Wow, look at you. And I know I saw some of you in the Pink Fresh event that I taught at this weekend. Now I'm going to look at this because it looks like I did not get a super great cut on all of it. And that's not surprising to me because it is so intricate. If you're having issues like that, then what I recommend doing is just adding a metal shim to your cutting sandwich and then just run it through again. Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. Is it Sherry? I'm so sorry to hear that. They were supposed to leave today and now they don't know when they will be able to get back. Oh, I'm so sorry. My prayers are with them for sure. Okay, so now, I don't know if you can see this, but it does appear that I got a much better run through on that than the first time. Like you can see everything's cut through. If you're doing something like this, I also recommend kind of flipping it over and looking at the back before you remove everything. And if you need to run it through again, then you can. So that's kind of a good tip also, is just kind of keep things in place until you know you got a good cut, and then you can pull it out from the die. Now, do you see, because I used this outer die, then this part cut out. But had I not, this part would just make an impression into my cardstock and only the two inner pieces would cut out. Maybe I should show you guys that. So let's show you that here. Let me go ahead and knock these out. I'm sorry for the noise, but this is my lazy way of getting things out of the die cut or the die once I'm done. Okay, so let's go ahead. I do want to pop out a couple of the pieces of cardstock that are stuck in the die. And the reason is that you will not get a great cut on those if you have paper stuck in your die, because it cannot make the contact that it needs just by that little slip of paper in there. It can't make the contact that it needs to get a nice clean cut on the die. So let's show you what this looks like on a piece of A2 cardstock when you do not use the outer cutting die. So this time I'm going to just line this up with a panel of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And I'm just going to get it centered up, and I'm going to hold it in place with this tape here, just so that if I need to run it through again, we're good. Isn't that pretty and elegant? My mom had that mixer and it was white. It's like so nostalgic, isn't it? I love it so much. I saw it and I was like, that is adorable. I do need to create with that. So let's go ahead and run this through again. Added the metal shim, and I'm going to show you the difference. And I love that they did this because they kind of created a little more versatility with this die by adding the outer cutting frame as a separate die. So again, I'm going to flip this over and look and make sure that I got a good cut. If I didn't get a good cut, which I think it was fine, but I'm going to run it through again, but I'm going to flip it. I've got 10 minutes tonight. It's 7:15 in Italy before I have to meet for dinner. This is the best way to spend that time. Well, thanks for joining us from Italy, Maggie. You're not from Italy, are you, Maggie? Are you just visiting? Because I'm jealous. Okay, so here is what this looks like if you don't use the outer die. So you just get this arch impression, you get a window, and then you have these two pieces as well, which are the same as these. So you have some options for using this, which I love. I think that's really fun. So let me knock these out, and we will start kind of piecing some things together. There's going to be a lot of assembly, so it's a good day to ask questions if you have them, as I'm kind of assembling some die cuts here in just a bit. Hello from Alberta. Thanks for joining. I'm so glad all of you are here on a Monday. I know Monday isn't like my normal thing, but it seems like several of you are here. Maybe it's because of the snow day, but I appreciate you being here. And I hope, like, if it is chilly and gloomy where you're at, that this does bring a little something extra to your day to make it happy. Okay. Oh, are you there in Italy for the Olympics, Maggie? That's what Stephanie wants to know. Good point. I haven't watched a lot of Olympics this year. I've just been so busy, and with the new gym routine that I currently meet my husband at the gym 3 to 4 times a week. That's my afternoons, and then our evenings we get home and it's like time to make dinner and all the things. So I haven't done a lot of Olympic watching or TV watching of any sort lately, or even YouTube watching, just because life's been busy, and it's all good things, and I love all those good things, but you know how that other things fall to the wayside. Okay, blizzard in Massachusetts. I'm sorry. So now that we have these, we have 2 sets of them, so we can use both sets. And I actually have a 3rd set that I had pre-cut. So if we want to use even more, we can, if we want to stack them up. But the cool thing about this is that one of these essential arches will line up with this here. It's not that one. Let me find the right one. It is that one. Okay, so it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th one in from the outer edge will match up, and we can create a background for the detailed pieces so that we can have kind of like that color showing through. I'm using all colors from Spellbinders today. This is all Spellbinders cardstock. This is the Seaside cardstock, and it's a really soft blue. It's like a truer blue than I would say, you know, I use sea glass a lot, but this is more blue than green, which I tend to use those green blues, but this one's definitely on the bluer side. My husband and I are currently in the gym. I'm forcing him to listen to you too. Haha. I love that, Elle. That's so funny. I love that you work out together, because I think that that's a good way to keep me kind of accountable, is to meet him there after work, because it just means like I can't ditch out. Whereas if I'm working out at home, I can kind of be like, oh, I got busy and I didn't get to it. So, all right. So do you see how pretty that's going to be with that blue showing through? I'm going to use the one that already has all the holes poked out so that you don't have to sit and watch me do that. But these arches, I know that I just got my hands on them. I'm not sure if they're even from the February release, but from Spellbinders, there's so many of these dies, and I will use these over and over again. I just know it because I love a good arch on my card. Okay, so let's take this and let's add some liquid glue to the back and adhere it to this arch that matches perfectly. And you could leave the center out if you wanted, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put the center in because it's just so pretty, all of those. And like I said, it reminds me of like a really beautiful tile pattern in a kitchen. So that's kind of where my inspiration came from, using these pieces together. This would also be really pretty with just some stamped images, stamped and colored images over the top or whatever. I think it feels very spring to me, like very springtime. Okay, so I have some liquid glue, and let's get this like stacked up. I know it is elegant and it feels super elegant, but I think when we add the cutesy mixers on it, it's going to be perfect. There's a little hanger on her right there. Hanger on her. I don't want to put this down until I get that out. Okay, we got it. So I'm going to press that down. Question, when you make purchases, do you do it when things are on sale, or do you get new releases, or? I think it depends. I can definitely tend to be like the new release girl. Like I see something comes out and then I'm like, wow, I think I need that. Tools, on the other hand, also depends. But like I bought the Anna Griffin Impress foil machine. I don't even know what they call it, but it's the one that I was able to get that when it released, but find a coupon for it. And I was not going to purchase it if I couldn't find a coupon. So it was kind of on special at Home Shopping when it released, Home Shopping Network. And I found an additional like 20% off coupon or something. So I decided to go ahead and purchase it. So bigger items like tools and stuff, I will tend to purchase those when I can find a sale on them. hopefully that. But you kind of have to just figure you out. Like, if it's not a big deal to have it in your hot little hands right away, you know, when it comes to stamps and dies, then, you know, you can probably wait until there's a sale. It just kind of depends. Okay, so now we have our pieces here. And I love these because they're designed with like pieces to make like dimension. So there is the bowl base, right? And then you have the overlay, which creates depth and dimension. Now you can do it in a single color like I did here, where the dimension's a little more subtle, or you can do it in a contrasting color and make it a little more prominent. So we're going to do that today. And we're going to put our mixer together. You can see I have a lot of these pieces die cut out of gold cardstock to add a little bit of, you know, a little something something to these. I love me some shine. So, you know, that's what we do around here. We do a little shine. All right, so let's do some liquid glue and adhere the kind of detail piece of the bowl to the under piece, to the solid piece. And Spellbinders does a really good job of showing you where things go when you look at their site. Mary's here from Craft Roulette, a familiar darling card. I just gave my thumbs up. Thank you. Mary is the genius behind Craft Roulette, and she and I created together, and that's where you see this card coming from. Mary, I talked about our Craft Roulette live in Kansas City earlier, and you missed it, and I have a link below. There's 11 spots left, so I'll let people know that if they want to sign up, they need to sign up soon. Okay, for the mixer and the handle, I decided that I wanted to do a little more dimension on the handle. So what I did was the handle, I die cut 2 more times out of the chiffon cardstock and then once out of the gold cardstock. And the chiffon cardstock is really there just to give dimension, but I cut it from chiffon cardstock rather than white so that you wouldn't see a white underlayer, right? So that's why I did those out of the chiffon rather than white, just so that it would blend in a bit more, but you could probably get away with a white underlayer if you want. So I am going to stack the gold layer on top of the 2 underlayers, and then there is a little piece here that has some markings in it. It is cut out of Seaside, and I'm going to glue that on the back of these kind of vent pieces to give it some contrasting color. Oop. So we'll just add a little bit of liquid glue there. And it has some impression marks on this little piece where you can kind of line it up with the vent. But I think as long as you kind of get it under there and make sure you're kind of to the edge, you probably be just fine. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but I think when we get it on here, you'll see a little more of that blue coming through. Now I also cut, there's a little rectangle that goes behind these vents here. And so I die cut that out of the Seaside as well. And right now I'm kind of on a buying freeze, so when money starts flowing again, I want some ideas. Especially if they're big ticket items, I think definitely wait for a sale or, you know, discount codes from, you know, sometimes there's discount codes here. Like a couple weeks ago, we had a discount code that you all loved a lot. But those are all ways to kind of, you know, shop a little more frugally. And like I said, if it's not important for you to have it like right away, then you can wait. Sometimes there are some companies who release things, they sell out and they don't restock very quickly. So there is a chance that, you know, it may not be there right when you want it. So if you have patience, which I don't tend to have, then that's definitely you know, an option. Okay, I hear, I think, the yard man. I think I hear the yard man, and I have to tell you something about that. So I am trying something new today. My dogs are not in their crates, which is new, but we'll see how well they behave because they may go on like a total barking terror here, even though we've been working on that. I need new plates for my Empress. Yeah, and new plates are important. I'm not sure how often I've seen those go on sale, but, you know, definitely a good thing to get on sale. So I took a piece of foam adhesive and layered it behind that heart opening, and I want to create some dimension on this heart. So I have that piece laid down, and I cut the heart a couple times more from some various cardstock to get it to kind of sit up off the base of the mixer. So I have 3 out of chiffon, which is the same color as the base of the mixer. So really above that, we're getting 2 more layers. And then I'm going to top it off with a piece of Bellini cardstock so that you can actually see it. But for a lot of these things, I have put the chiffon as the underlayer. I purchased all the things to make your DIY foam. The scissors are unbelievable. Love them. And the double adhesive foam panels, you are amazing. Well, thank you so much. These scissors, as one Daisy can tell you, the Spellbinders scissors are seriously amazing. If you have a hard time die cutting foil, how cute is that with the dimension? I love it. If you have a hard time die cutting, or not die cutting, but cutting through foil for your Glimmer hot foil machine, I'm telling you, there are no better scissors for that I have found than the Spellbinders scissors. They are amazing. Okay, so now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and put my handle on top of the mixer. Again, using liquid glue for a lot of this, because who would have thought I would have been a liquid glue girly? Who would have thought a couple years ago that I would have been into liquid glue? But I'm totally into liquid glue. Used to be tape runner only kind of girl. Now there's still things I use tape runner for, but less so now. Okay, we have testimonials about the scissors coming through. Yes, those scissors are the best. Emma says she has full baskets at all of the retailers or the companies, but she doesn't always hit, you know, she doesn't always press buy. I do that a lot, actually. I do that a lot. So, okay, so here's the little, what are these called? Beaters for the mixer. I've die cut those out of gold, and I'm just going to place them behind, put some liquid glue. And I have a couple of things that I didn't do to this mixer on Craft Roulette that I'm going to do here today. Like, I didn't add the dimension to the heart because we were kind of on a time crunch. And so, you know how that goes. But I also did not add this, this little piece of batter to the whisk or the beaters, which I think is so much fun. So it has an opening. Hold on. Mochi's about to go crazy and we have to tell him no. Hold on, I'm going to mute you. Okay, we're back. Mochi decided to come in here. He chose the right thing rather than bark. He chose to come see his mom, which means our training is working. That's so good. He barked once, but we didn't go crazy. Charlie is in here immediately. She is doing really good with her training. Mochi. So she just kind of came when she heard the yard man and came under the desk because her default is to just start barking. Okay, so we have the batter there on the bottom, which I think is so cute. Doesn't that add so much and can be above? And then you have all of these pieces, which is like the drippy piece, and you have the batter that's in the bowl, and you have the little bowl detail. So we're gonna add these, and I am going to use enamel dots like I did on Craft Roulette to fill in these, because if I'm gonna pick a type of cake, which I get to make my own cake here. I don't know if you knew that, but I get to call the shots. I'm not a chocolate person. I don't like chocolate. And so I'm making me a funfetti cake here. So we have the batter, or the batter in the bowl, all lined up here. And there is a little, I love that they do this, there is a little impression on this die cut that will help you line this up where it's supposed to go in the bowl. So you kind of line up the top of the bowl with that impression, and it helps you get it lined up really nicely. And then we have the gold topper for the bowl, or the gold band, because you know Carissa's bowls are going to have some gold. And I'm just kind of dabbing it on here. Oh, good luck, Emma. I hope he goes to bed without complaint. I love to go to bed. One day he's going to love to go to bed. One day, right? Okay, so then we have the little drippy part, right? Let's get some tweezers out for this, because I like this part. Spellbinders dies are the best. They include so many bits and pieces to make the cutest cards. They do. I know that die cutting or die cut assembly is not like everybody's favorite, but I think it's so fun. And if you kind of pre-cut them like I did here, and then you assemble them later, I think it makes the process just a little better, you know? So I'm thinking we're going to get all this on an A2 card, even though it's going to be a lot tighter than our last one on the 5x7 card. So I think this is a lot of fun. We will end up with foam adhesive on the back of this, so let's just do it. By the way, for those of you making the foam adhesive, I trim off pieces of the foam adhesive to make the card, the panels fit on my card base, or my card base, or behind the panel that I'm using. And I keep all those little scraps, and I use those scraps for things like this, where I need to add foam behind tinier pieces. So don't throw the little scraps away. Just use them for things like this. Just cut them apart, and then it goes kind of like this. And I think what we'll do, I'm like, do I want the bowl on foam also, or is it going to cause problems? So what I'll do is I'll take this little square of foam adhesive, place it behind without adhering it, and see if this is going to kind of interfere with everything. Because I'm always like a little dimension, you know, makes my heart happy. We're going to take this part off because this is going to interfere. And see if I like it like this. I do kind of like it on the, okay. So let's just do the foam on the back. Again, another scrap piece. I love playing with layered die. Yeah. And it's so fun seeing you create multiple cards using the same die set, because I just love your creation so much. Well, thank you. Okay, so let's do this. And maybe let's put, okay, now I've just removed the backer and I'm regretting my decisions. Hold on. Let's see if we like it here. Or do we like it here? Makes more sense like this, huh? I think so. I was just trying to see if I could do something different. Hi, Marta. You were stuck in a meeting. Well, I'm glad you're here, whether you're late or watching on the replay or whatever that may be. I just appreciate you being here. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there. And before I add my little mixer, I'm going to grab some enamel dots. What an incredible little mixing bowl. It is cute, isn't it? Do I have a source for 1 millimeter foam that you can DIY? I do not. However, you can buy 1mm foam like adhesive from scrapbook.com. They do have 1mm foam adhesive there in strips and panels and rolls and all kinds of things. So if you're looking for that, but if you're wanting to DIY it, I don't think I have a source for that. I could look, or you could just kind of put it into Amazon and see if you could find it. I've not used it. I tend to like the 2mm. It's just my favorite. So I'm using a combination of pink or ballet slipper dots here and Tide Pool and Nectar. And I'm just kind of mixing them through this batter. And the one thing I do love that I did on that card that I created on Craft Roulette is I love the Stickles glitter glue on the edge as well of all of this batter. And so we're going to do that again. Oh, I'm pulling things up here. Hold on. These guys are boogers. Okay, hold on. You guys, I'm afraid to say this, but I'm kind of proud of my dogs right now because normally they are like going crazy while the yard man's here. And I'm super proud that they're not barking. I'm trying it out by leaving them out. I do hate it when meetings get in the way of my best life. I have a meeting tomorrow morning. I'm not really excited about it. So just gonna say. Okay. I'm just chasing this enamel dot all around my work surface and it's super annoying. You stay. It does not want to stay. Okay, see you later, alligator. You are going to the trash bin. Okay, let's do this. Get a couple more Tide Pool, and we're just mixing them in. We could probably even bring in a darker pink if we wanted to, but I think I'll just keep it kind of simple like that. And yeah, let's do this. There. And I hope my dogs don't make me liars right now because the yard man is still here and they could still lose their minds, but I'm super proud of what they're doing right now. Okay. I want to take one of these and exchange it. I'm doing the great exchange. So these are not always like the easiest. I'm not gonna lie. They can kind of be fussy, as you can see. But worth it? I think so. What do you think? We're at 10:41. Stephanie and Elle have a lot in common. They love, you guys should be like, you guys should be friends outside of this conversation. Like, find each other on Instagram. Okay, let's add a few of these little guys to the part that's on the beaters, the whiskers. What are these? Somebody help me. What would you call this? I called them the beaters. Is that, they are not the beaters? Are they the beaters? Feel free to correct me. A broken pinky? No. Okay, so now that we have all of that, we are good to place this down onto our card. Whisks, beaters. We have differing opinions. Maybe it's one of those things where it depends on where you're from. Is that what it is? There goes Mo. He's gonna bark. Mochi, you are not choosing the correct thing. Okay, let's do this. I don't want to cover up the funfetti down here too much. And I'm gonna, there is a little like electrical cord for the mixer in the set. I'm not gonna use that today because I don't wanna have to bring it in another color. And then we're gonna figure out how are we gonna do this. Oh, we are so gonna do that. Look at that on the seaside. Love it. Okay, so this is pretty much gonna be card number 1. A lot of die cutting, a lot of assembly, but I think the patterns mixed together is a really beautiful mix. I love the arch to kind of bring it in like it's on that inset of your kitchen. I think it's so pretty, and we will do a little bump up here. You could do more in the background, but I think that there's a lot of textural elements going on here. And so let's get this down, and then we will add some finishing touches. All right, so let's go. Let's take a little bit off the top. See how it just doesn't always work, like size-wise? You just kind of have to clip things down, and then you have those pieces. I would consider the brick embossing. That would be really nice. Yep, we could. I don't know if I have anything brick. You know what could be really pretty is just a simple press plate as well. Like with some pierced, like a piercing die kind of thing. That could be really pretty. Let's do this so we have a lot of support. We are fans of support. Okay, so now we have that. I'll hold off on putting this together just in case we have an epiphany of what we should use in the background. I don't really mind a simple background like this. We could use the embossing folder, but I just feel like here's what I feel like. I feel like for this particular card, we have a little bit of elegance and a little bit of cutesy all mixed together. And I feel like bringing in this embossing folder for this particular card tips it way over to the cutesy side and makes it feel like this arched pierce piece is kind of out of place. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. We can do a sentiment. There's all kinds of really cute sentiments. This one says, "You stir are fabulous." This says, "Wishing you a great birthday." I have options, but I'm gonna kind of let it marinate, and then we will kind of come back to it. Does that sound okay? Let's assemble our little scale and cookies and all of that here for this other card. And I have done just a lot of gold and Bellini and Chiffon for this card. And there's all of these pieces that just layer up to create the adorable pieces for this. I love the center of the scale. I think it just, all of the pieces that layer up to make that. Hold on, Mochi's gonna choose poorly. You notice how it's Mochi and it's not Charlie. Charlie's being a good girl. Charlie's in the craft room with me. Yeah. Hello, girly. Okay. Let's do that. And then we have like the little pieces here that all come together. And we can put this in. This is nice because we can put this little well, what is this, pointer of the scale, kind of between two, and then we can rotate it as much as we want, you know, when we put it on the scale to make it point to where we want. Like, do we want it to be like weighing super heavy, or do we just want it to be like barely off the zero? That just depends on how many cookies we put. Now, I love the way that they've designed this because they have these cookies where this piece, which I've cut out of fawn cardstock, where you can kind of pop those pieces out and make like a chocolate chip cookie, but y'all know chocolate's not my thing. So I left the little pieces in, and instead we're gonna make like pink frosted cookies. So I'm gonna just grab a bunch of these, and I think I have different colors of frosting. I do, I have some alabaster frosting and I have some pink frosting. So we're just gonna grab all of these pieces and we'll just do some liquid glue across. And I will say, when you are putting together die cut things, my personal opinion is you need some tweezers and you need a embellishment tool of some type. I like both the Pink Fresh and the Altenew embellishment tool like I'm using here. But I think it's like super helpful to have those because you can pick up the little pieces of those. And now we have like those sugar cookies. Do you guys buy the Walmart, or they're at our Save Mart too, which Save Mart is not a national brand of grocery store, but you know what I'm talking about? Those little fluffy sugar cookies with the frosting on them that they're so good. You know, like they're so good. That's what these remind me of. And we'll have to like tuck them behind there, but they'll be so cute. Okay, the last piece that we have, and I did not choose to use all of these pieces that are available for the measuring cups, but my thought was just to create them out of the gold and link them together with the little ring that goes with them. There is an opening in this ring. Do you see this? A little opening. You guys know which cookies I'm talking about? Those are my kids' favorites. They're like straight sugar, but they're so soft and they're so yummy. And they are one of my favorites, like of all the things. And you know what I just thought about? I don't know why this popped into my head. Loft House. Yes, ours are called Loft House as well. So maybe it's a national brand, Loft House. I think they have them at Walmart too. Okay, so I thought we could stack these up like this on the ring. I have them where I want them, so I'm just gonna hold them together and squirt some glue behind them to where they're kind of fanned out. Just like that. Isn't that cute? And then let's go ahead. I'm trying to figure out, how do I want to attach these cookies? You love these cookies or you love Loft House cookies? Because, I mean, just, you know, just saying here. They're all good, right? I have a second set of tweezers. Those are holding those together as that dries. So I'm going to take my second set of tweezers. I'm a firm believer that you may need more than one set of tweezers. I'm going to put them here. I like to work from the front. It's not always the most convenient, but it helps me visualize where everything's going to end up if I'm working from the front of my card or the element rather than the back. And I'm missing a cookie. So let's put, oops, this can be a little finicky, but so worth it in my opinion. Okay, let's do a little more glue. I'm going to put you here, just like this. You here, just like that. We're just filling our scale with cookies. Maybe that's why my scale is like it is. All the cookies, both. Snickerdoodle cookies are my favorite. I love snickerdoodles. My mom makes the best snickerdoodles. I'm kind of surprised my mom never pops into my lives. I don't know that she knows how to, but I'm telling you, my mom is my biggest fan. My mom and my husband, both big fans of me. It's nice to have those people in your life, right? Okay, so let's just glue that all just like that. I'm going to use the tweezers to just hold them in place. And then we're going to take this stacked up piece and add it to the center. Let's go like, well, we need to have one at the top, right? Because it has to have the 0 line. Okay. So now we have our scale with all the cookies. Isn't this cute? I know, so cute. And then we have our little measuring cups. Oops, that did not stick all the way. Got to be a little more patient with that. Okay, it needs a little more time, but we can do this. And this is where I'm thinking maybe we use a simple arch, like not with, we could use like this situation, which we didn't use on the first one. We could kind of do something like this. We could use one piece of this arch, which that's kind of cute, and then pop it up. And then maybe do a bigger arch as a matte layer. Let's see. Let's see here. We're building a card on the work surface. Love the baking theme. Isn't it fun? So Tina Smith worked in conjunction with Spellbinders to create this line. I like this. I like this. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to pop all these little pieces out. Now's a good time for questions. Pepperidge Farm Milanos. Now see, Milanos, don't they have chocolate on them? I mean, what you could do to make these Milanos is you could cut the base out of Alabaster cardstock and cut the darker part out of like a dark brown espresso cardstock. And if you want to make them chocolate chip cookies, you cut the smaller piece that I put on top as frosting out of a dark brown, and you just lay it behind the piece with the openings. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with these. A lot of fun. Lots of fun. Okay. My question is, what color do I want this? Tina makes the cutest cards. I'm new to Tina. Measuring cups are making my 1970 Tupperware measuring cups look pretty shabby, but chic, I'm sure. Yes. You know what? I have had gold measuring cups in my cart for the longest time. I really need new measuring cups, but I have this old set from Walmart that I love so much because it has all the sizes. And every time I go to buy a pretty set of measuring cups, it doesn't have all the sizes that I want. So it just makes me sad because I really want all the sizes and they're not giving me all the sizes. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else have this problem? Clearly passionate about this. And you know what? It's funny. I thought this morning, I have a lot of live streams this week, what am I going to talk about in the in-between? and here we are talking about measuring cups. I feel your sadness. I know, it's just like they're not all good. Not all, I mean, like Williams Sonoma, they should have like the most amazing measuring cups, and they're beautiful, but they don't have all the sizes that I want. So it's just a frustrating issue for me. Now, I had a lot of die cutting done ahead of time, but we're doing pretty good making 2 cards here, wouldn't you say? When you go to die cut these things, how I like to approach the die cutting when I'm doing a lot of die cutting of multiple elements, I like to look at the dies ahead of time and sort them into, like, these are all the dies that I want to cut out of chiffon, and these are all the dies that I want to cut out of Bellini, and these are all the dies that I want to cut out of gold. And so I kind of sort them into color groups of dies, lay a bunch of dies on that color of cardstock all at once, and then I die cut all of that color at once. Now, sometimes I change my mind and I have to re-die cut something out of a different color because I get to putting it together and it's not my favorite. However, most of the time, I feel like that's my most efficient way of creating when I'm creating with multiple smaller dies like this. Just get a bunch of them done at once, sort them, and do that. So I'm kind of tempted to put this one in too, but I feel like that's just copying the other card. Nah, let's do something different. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like this. This could go around here though. No, but then it covers my edge. Nope, going with this. Okay. So let's go ahead and put some foam adhesive on the back of my measuring cups and my scale, my baking scale. The arch is so pretty. And like I said, I love the arch so much, and you could do it. I love the idea of doing it out of a few different colors of cardstock and laying them together, like nestling them together with the different colors. But I have not seen anybody really use this in conjunction with the baking set. I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time looking at examples or anything. I think I've told you guys before, when I'm going to create with something, I really try not to look at too many examples because I don't want my cards to end up being a copy of someone, you know? So I try not to look too much at inspiration, but I have seen some inspiration using these arches, the pierced, punched, I don't know, there's a lot of words in that product name, but the pierced, punched situation, arch situation in various colors, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I think what you could do, quite honestly, very easily, just do the 3 layers of the arches and a simple sentiment across it, and it's really, really just a stunning card. It's got so much detail. Okay, we're making messes. Life's good when you're making a mess, right? And then we'll see if we can find something that we like for the background. We're gonna add some glossy accents. We're gonna add, I'm gonna do the scale on the other side. We're gonna flip up our version here. Let's see. Let me look in the screen. Sometimes it's easier for me. Okay, so we have our scale down. Let's get our cups down. I love that Mary said to write to them. I'm sure that they would love my feedback. I can barely answer the emails right now that I'm getting. I have a lot going on. I'm trying to figure out how I want these to go. I'm thinking like this. Just like that. Okay, let's do that. I don't know that I love the way it covers up the center of that scale. Let's go a little further out with them. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, that's better. Give me 2 seconds to go look at, I mean, I will still be here talking to you, but give me 2 seconds to go look in my stash and see if there's something that we want to add to the background of these. You guys can look at these. Keep talking. Yay for glossy accents. Glossy accents, yes. Stickles, yes. We're going there. We're going to do it. But I want to look at embossing folders real quick and see if there's anything. Oh, this could be good. If there's anything that I might want to bring in. And I'm going to try not to breathe in my microphone too much over here while I'm all squatted down. That could be cute. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to pull it out just to show you. I'm looking for something a little more simple on the pattern. Someone mentioned bricks. I think that could be good. Something maybe a little geometric to kind of break up all of the fanciness that we have going on, but something that doesn't make it too whimsical. Does that make sense? Okay, I have a few options here. One of them's not really, I don't think, maybe it's an option. This is one of my favorite embossing folders. All the things. This is the Optical Arches embossing folder. I don't even know if this is still available. You guys, I'm just pulling stuff out of my stash right now. This is the Optical Arches. It is literally one of my favorites. I used this years ago in a birthday card. Oh, I love that. I actually love that. I used it years ago, and I reposted this card yesterday for Ellen Hudson's birthday, because yesterday was Ellen Hudson's birthday, like the actual Ellen. And I used it on a card for that years ago and reposted that card yesterday. So it's been around for a long time. I don't have one. It could be really cute. I don't have a subway tile, but we're going to go with this. This is like my dream kitchen right here. We're going into Carissa's dream kitchen. It probably not have blue, or maybe like a French blue or a navy blue I could get on board with, but it would have lots of white and lots of gold. Okay, this is too much for this. Let's go to this. I have one, oh, that feels right. I have one clear plate and one that, magnetic mat. Let's make sure we got a good, oh yeah. See that? Actually, I feel like it could go through one more time with just a tiny bit more pressure. This is super brave. I can't believe I'm going to try to re-emboss this. I'll probably need to, I feel like at the top it just did not get totally embossed. Maybe I should just, let's just cut a new piece. Let's just not be silly. I feel like it needed a little more at the top. So let's go to 4 by 5 1/4 for this. Not sure that's what I had out before, but we're going to go smaller than an A2 because we'll put this on a white card base. This did not feel, Martin has a pink kitchen. Okay, I have to tell you this story. My grandmother, for much of my life, was unmarried. And I remember that after she was not married anymore. So I remember a part where she was married and then a part where she was not married. So after, when she was not married, which was for most of the time that I knew her, right after that, she kind of went through, I don't know, like her freedom phase. I'm not going to move anything until I make sure that this is right. I feel like I've always used 2 clear cutting plates, but this felt a little, oh yeah, that's so much better. Okay, so we see that. She went through like her freedom phase, I would call it, and she redecorated her whole house, and she had like pink and purple everywhere. I mean, pink Corian. Do you remember when Corian was a thing? Pink Corian countertops with white cabinets, and her couches in her living room were like purple and pink florals with like pink draperies. And my grandma has always said that of all her granddaughter, or she did always say, she's not with us anymore, but she used to say, of all my granddaughters, you are the most like me. And we just had, my grandma had this thing for sparkles. My mom didn't get it for whatever reason, but you know, like she passed that on, the love of all things shiny. She loved jewelry. But I remember when she redecorated her house and her kitchen was just like pink, and there was pink everywhere. She was a classy lady. You do like the Arches embossing folder. Good. I'm thinking I should probably show you guys the other options. I don't know that I love it as much on this one, quite honestly, and I'm not sure why. But the other ones I pulled out were this guy here, which is kind of like a waffle texture. And I put the cardstock in here so you guys can see the texture a little more. But I don't, that could work. Or there is like a dot texture. So like a fine dot. These are kind of straight though, like in lines. So what I might do is like tilt this in here to make it a little more like askew and have the polka dots. What do you guys think? Lori says she loves the waffle texture. Or we could do this confection situation, which has like the rolling pins. I just feel like it's just not quite right. Now I love it on this card where I did it and I embossed it and then I rolled over it with some white ink. But waffle over Swiss dots. You think we should do the waffle again, or do you think we should just do the arches? We could do the waffle. Let's do the waffle. Let's do something different. Okay, these are not linked because I just pulled them out. And I didn't know I was going to be using them. Right? That's how it works. Okay, I'm lining that up. We're going to do this. We're going to run it through. Oh, I can hear that there's more, there is more pressure on this one. Oh, that is like very waffle. Oh, but that's cute. That is so cute. Oh, yes. Love, 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 love. Okay, now let's assemble, shall we? 2 card bases. We're almost done. Thanks for hanging in there with me for 2 cards today. Actually, we're doing really great on time, right? We're an hour and 15 minutes in, and I talked for like 10 minutes. Let's make our card bases, white card bases. And then we need sentiments, but I am not convinced I want to put sentiments on them. I'm not married to anything yet. So we could talk about it, but I'm not sure I want to make that decision right now. Isn't that weird? Can we make them without sentiments? We definitely can. It feels unfinished though, so I don't know if I want to like leave you guys with unfinished business here. We're going to do this and this. And the reason I haven't done the glossy accents and the stickles yet is because I knew I would still be handling these to put them all together. And so I did not want to have that all wet while I'm trying to assemble all these things. Waffle it is. Looks great. Beautiful. You like that. You love it. It's another good, like simple texture. And it is one that is newer. It was part of like a kind of sugar candy themed release from Spellbinders, maybe at the end of last year, when it was like there was like a little airplane that had frosting on it and that sort of thing. It was from that. So it's like a waffle cone texture. Let's put this on there. Love these cards so much. Thank you for the great tutorial. Well, thank you. Sydney likes these, says these are so good, Carissa. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you all for your sweet, sweet comments. You're all helping me along in this process though, too. I'm using the waffle texture to kind of line up my arch in the center of this. So there we go. And then we could do another layer of foam if we wanted to, but I'm not sure. I think, well, I may do it because with this much texture in the background, sometimes trying to just do liquid glue or tape runner is a little tricky to get something this textured adhered to a card base. So we'll probably do another layer of foam adhesive just because it'll make our life easier. Let me see, is that kind of centered? We're kind of centered there. Okay, let's grab our foam adhesive panels. And this is where these generally are a little too big, right? So I trim them down. And these are those little scraps that I use for all of the other things. I just trim them with scissors because they don't have to be perfect, but then those go over into my mermaid tail dish where I can use them later. We're gonna place this on the back, just like that. That will help us get that adhered down. Do the same thing with our waffle background. So just a couple little bits off. And do this. The waffle texture brings it home. I'm so glad you guys love that. Pink paper and things. I know when I go on vacation and I'm away from my craft room and I see something so inspiring, I almost get like that itch to create, and then you're away. Pink paper and things says getting the inspo itch, and it sucks. I'm at work, so I can't craft anything. Going to have to wait till I get home. I totally know what that is like. And it is especially true when I go on vacation and I'm like far away from crafting. And I feel like, gosh, I need to do something with my hands and I can't. Okay, I love that. Let's do this. And then let's add our stickles and our glossy accents and we can talk about sentiments. There is a really cute little sweet sentiment. That's a die cut sentiment in the mixer, magic mixer one. We could use that. That's a possibility. I like the idea of that because I don't have to make like some bold strip anywhere. I can just kind of tuck it in. But I don't know that I love it for this guy. So let's grab stickles. I just got some new glossy accents because I felt like my glossy accents was really old and that it was kind of yellowy looking. Now, here's the deal. Whenever you start your glossy accents or your stickles, just start it on a scrap piece of paper and make sure everything is flowing nicely before you take it to your project. Just take it from me. You want to do this, okay? I've done it a few times in my life where I haven't started it out on a scrap piece of cardstock and I've regretted my choices. Okay, so let's just do kind of lining this drippy piece with the stickles. We kind of lined that upper bit. Oh, look, we lost an enamel dot. Good gravy. That guy just did not want to stay in there, did he? Okay, and I put my finger or my hand in that. And let's do, let's do stickles on these, just at the top of the frosting. Here on these cookies. I thought about glossy accents, but that's a really big area of glossy accents to wait for it to dry. And we could, you know, be there for 3 weeks with that. Okay, now I'm definitely doing glossy accents on this heart. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, got it started. It's a new bottle. It's so wonderful. And then I'm just gonna go with the glossy accents over the heart, make it stick out and shine. Love, love, love. Okay, and now let's talk about sentiments. Oh, I love the enamel dots and the icing. I'm missing one right there. And I put one there and it's bugging me that it's like not wanting to stick there. So I'm gonna find another one, put it right there. And now that I have the stickles, I'm probably gonna ruin everything. Okay, there we go. Okay, isn't that the cutest? Let's hold them up real quick. So you can see we got all that glitter on there. Got the glossy accents on the heart. We got the gold accents. And then we have this guy. Which one's your favorite? Do you love the mixer? Do you love the scale? Question, are there cupcakes in this baking set? No, there are not cupcakes in either one. However, there are more products in this line that have like a rolling pin, an apron. If you click over to any of those, it will probably show them to you in the related products. But this is just the measuring one. It has a cookie jar, and then this is the mixer one. I used most of the products from the mixer one. Ooh, just lost a little tiny die. Oh, there it is. Okay, but I'm thinking this little sweet sentiment could be really cute. So let me do this. Let me grab that guy. And I'm thinking we do it because we have so little of the Bellini on this mixer card. I'm thinking we cut that out of Bellini. And we have it just like this. The mixer for sure. It's like pulling out of a Barbie dream house. I love it. The mixer's your favorite. The mixer's the favorite. Okay, the mixer is the favorite. And remember, this is the one that I created on Craft Roulette up here. So there are some nods back to this, but we've done a few things just a little bit differently. And I'm gonna grab a scrap of Bellini, hopefully. These are all really large scraps. I'm not gonna cut that tiny sentiment out of that. So let me grab a little scrap of Bellini here. And we'll die cut that sentiment, place it on there, and then we can do maybe a stamped sentiment for this one. I think there is a cupcake in the Made with Love die set. Okay, so there is a cupcake in kind of the collection. So this is like, there's several products in the collection. So I'm thinking that, let me grab a scrap of vellum here for our shadow layer. My favorite is the mixer, but they're both so darn cute. I'm going to have to pull out my Stamp Market mixer die. Oh, I don't have that one. Okay. Oh, it's a separate letter. The S is separate from the wheat. The S and the wheat are separate. Okay, let's do one more so we can have a couple of layers. There, oh, y'all are talking about the cupcake. I love that. Okay, so there's the sweet word for the mixer is what I'm thinking. Yeah, that'll be cute. And that darker pink. I love the arch background too, because I think, as I've shown today, it's so versatile. And I didn't offer that as one of the options, but maybe you love the arches the very, very most. The arches are super cute. And like I said, super versatile. I think you could do a lot with them. And let's do a little bit of liquid glue here. You guys okay? Hanging in there with me? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to say hey in the comments below. Would love for you to do that. The mixer, you guys like the mixer. Oh, okay. I want to see that so bad, what you guys are talking about right now. The little other mixer. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to go sweet. We're going to layer up another layer. I know this is like extra, but you know, I'm extra. It's just what comes with the territory of being me. I'm just extra. The arch, says Margie. Yes. The arch is fantastic. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like this. I did the die cutting off screen because I felt like you guys could probably handle that without having to see me do all the die cutting. And it allowed me more time to make cards. Okay, that would be cute. Like maybe here. I don't know. We're gonna ooh, I like that idea. I like that idea. Okay, it's a little different. I know these vertical sentiments are not everybody's thing, but sometimes I love me a little like vertical sentiment moment. I think it's cute. Let's do this. Okay, give me some sugar. I have an aversion to that sentiment for a personal reason. You count, not calories. Better late than never. You're my better half. Sorry for the mix-up. You bake the world better. Just roll with it. Whisking you stir. Okay, you better get well. Nothing a little cookie dough can't cure. That could be cute. Let's do the nothing a little cookie dough can't cure on this one, but let's do it white heat embossed on vellum. And then there are not dies for this sentiment set, so I'm probably gonna have to fussy cut it. I purchased the whole collection. I couldn't resist. It is a cute collection, I have to tell you. I don't know Tina. A lot of you say you know her. I don't know her. Sweet should be flipped. You read it top to bottom. Honey was a journalism major. So like this. Really? I don't know. I kind of like it the other way. I might be wrong, but I don't know. Okay, I'm going to give that a minute. I'm going to put some foam behind it. And because we're putting this onto a white background, you will see the foam through it, but the white background will help disguise the fact that there's foam. So you count, not calories. Let's see. We need vellum. We're almost done, you guys. We're almost done, and you can get back to your Monday, I promise. I probably need to run to Sprouts and do my weekly run at Sprouts. I have like the 5 things that I buy from Sprouts every week, and I need to go get them. By the way, been working on custom stamps, custom hand stamped by stamps, and learning to produce them on my own. And I'm learning so much on my laser. I spent some time yesterday kind of playing with settings and that sort of thing. I have to tell you, though a lot of you know that I have a laser cutter. I actually engraved that this weekend, which is my favorite little heart dish. But the laser thing is something that you really have to play with things to get things just right. And I love the learning process that I go through with my laser. And I got my settings all dialed in to make stencils with my laser. And so I kind of figured all that out. I have like something in the works behind the scenes that I kind of wanted to learn a few things for. And so I'm kind of, it's a little ways off, but I wanted to figure some things out for it. And so I'm working on those things when I have a moment of kind of crafty time. And that is kind of my, like, my own, like, I do it for myself kind of crafting. I like the lattice die for the background overlay. Oh, good. I'm so glad. So we have a vote for sweet going with the S at the bottom and sweet going for the S at the top. Love the laser on your heart dish. Thank you, Julie. Okay, let's keep from the back. This says nothing a little cookie dough can't cure. Cute. Cute, cute. Yeah, I've just been kind of playing, doing some things for me. I don't always get the chance to do these kinds of things for me. And I like really realize when I do them how much they kind of fill my creative cup and how like good it is for me when I do these things. So I have to remind myself of that. Okay, so I'm just fussy cutting here. S at the bottom, S at the bottom, S at the bottom, S at the bottom. I had one of you tell me that it's like the journalism rule that you read top to bottom, so I don't know. Let's just cut this out and then we'll attach that in just a bit. I'm just kind of, what I do when I fussy cut, by the way, is I just move the paper. You see how I'm keeping the scissors rather still and I'm just using my other hand to guide the paper? That's how I tend to fussy cut. I like a little tiny pair of scissors for this. Hi, Charlie. Welcome back. And I just kind of low and slow just do my thing here. I do wish there was a die set for this, but you know, can't have everything. All right, almost there, almost there. Didn't take long at all, right? Fairly painless. Okay, that's so cute. Nothing a little cookie dough can't cure. We'll put that on there. Hate fussy cutting. I loathe fussy cutting. You guys have strong opinions. And I will say, it's not my favorite. I'm going to give you that. However, when it's just a tiny thing every now and then and it gives you the effect that you want, I mean, it was worth it. Question, what do you do with all the cards you make? You can send them to me, says Phyllis. Funny you ask. So a lot of times what I do with my cards is they pile up. I use some of them. However, every so often, what I will do is the ones that I have not used, I bundle them up and I give them to my sister-in-law, her sister, my mom, a lady at my church, and I let them go through them and pick through them like New Year's Eve. I just did a whole thing where I packed them all up. We were having a party together. And I took them all over there and a bunch of people took them. And then I packed up what was left and I gave them to another person. And so it just kind of depends. We're going to go S on the bottom. Hoping I can go to Concord and Ninth. I'm hoping you can go too. It's early bird special now through, I think the 25th. I can't remember. So that will save you 15 bucks off the kit. So, and the kits are available over at Concord and Ninth for summer camp with full-size ink pads, with ink cubes, or with no ink at all. So there are 3 kit options for Concord and Ninth summer camp. So keep that in mind. You love the sentiment on the vellum? Good. Okay. The last question is, I promise we'll be done in just a couple minutes, but I'm thinking, do we just need some crystal confetti? Do we just need it? I'm never, you guys can tell me, like, leave it off. I could donate them to Cards for Kindness. Yes, there's a lot of places that you can donate cards as well. Do we do the crystal confetti, or do you tell me, Carissa, stop being extra? I mean, I can handle it, but look how stinking cute it is with just a little extra shine. I love that. I couldn't go to church Bible study this week. Laryngitis, still not myself. I'm sorry to hear that, Lee. I hope you feel better soon. Hope you feel better soon. Never fun to be under the weather. I've been working really hard to stay well. Part of that is, and I don't know how much this actually makes a difference, but I'm taking like this immune support elderberry situation. I'm eating well right now and exercising, so I kind of am doing the things that are within my control to stay well, because I'm really busy right now and I don't have a lot of time to be down. And we have a little getaway coming up this weekend and I just don't want to risk not being able to go there. So how do we feel about the confetti? I kind of dig it. The crystal confetti. In my house, no card is complete without a little bling and usually a touch of cat hair. I love that you share your cards. Maureen says, I never know the best placement for crystal confetti. Here is what I do, and I'll kind of talk you through it. I think in triangles, so I use triangles and various sizes. So a few different sizes of confetti. You can see I have 1, 2, 3, making a triangle here. I'm bringing it through the design of my card. So you can see I'm starting and kind of bringing it down through the design. And then I have 2 more over here. This gives me 5, which is an odd number. I usually do a 3 and a 2 grouping, or I do 2, 3 groupings depending on. You will see this repeated over here. So 3 different sizes of confetti. I have them starting kind of in this triangle fashion, coming down through the design of my card. So 1, 2, 3. They don't have to be like a perfect right angle triangle. They don't have to be acute or oblique or whatever the terms are for the various triangles. But triangle and then 2 and then triangle and 2. So that's generally my rule. If I'm going to do 2, 3 groupings, then I will often do 2 triangles. Okay, those are not going to pour in there nicely, so I'm going to wait for that. We're going to finish this up. I'm going to let you guys move on with your day, but there you have it. 2 cards featuring new products from the Spellbinders February 2026 release, mixing and matching some different product suites here, but this is so cute. The magic mixer here. Maybe this one's my favorite. I don't know. I think it's pretty stinking cute. And I love the little die cut sentiment that we did here on the vertical. I think that's a fun way to use it. And when that glossy accent dries, that heart up top is going to be stellar. And then we have the measuring cup one with the scale and the cookies on top. And it says nothing a little cookie dough can't cure. Super cute. We've got our little stickles on the top of our Loft House cookies. There is what we decided those were, and our gold measuring cups. So fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bling is like eyeshadow. You can never have too much. I love that. I'm glad you guys are loving them. Like I said before, if you're watching on the replay, I would love for you to leave me a comment as well. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notifications, hit that thumbs up. I will be back here live on my channel Friday at 11 Pacific time. 11 Pacific time. Don't forget to check the links below if you're looking for shopping links. And also there are a few events linked that are still available for you to sign up that I will be teaching at this year. The ones that have been announced so far. So you can sign up for any of those, and check my Instagram for my full live stream schedule. It's a full schedule this week. And I will see you soon. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give